It's not a good time to study in the US right now, or for that matter, even in the UK, another favorite destination of Indian students. Since US President Trump returned to power in January, the US has cut study visas by 27% this year. Officers are also scrutinizing applications much more closely. Some students told us that embassies rejected their visas simply for liking protest content on social media. And just last week, Washington announced a $100,000 fee for all new H-1B visa applicants. The UK too has tightened rules, shortened work visas, and warnings of serious consequences if students overstay. But though these traditional players are losing their shine, there's a new sheriff in town: Germany. According to education consultancy Upgrad, there's been a surge in interest in students wanting to go to Germany. In 2022, just 13% of surveyed students wanted to study in Germany. By 2024, that number jumped to 32%. At the same time, consultancies like Upgrad, IDP Education, KC Overseas Education have been advertising Germany aggressively too. They say that Germany has a strong economy, quality educational institutions, and wants skilled labor. Moreover, while knowing German is a plus, many institutes now teach courses in English too, making the country more accessible to everyone. My name is Kudrat Wadhwa and you are listening to The Signal Daily. We don't do hot takes. Instead, we bring you deep dives into the how and why of consumer trends. In this episode, we learn about what distinguishes Germany from more traditional study abroad destinations. Is the reality as rosy as students might think? Shaina is 28. She moved to Germany in 2022 for her master's degree in technology and innovation management from the Technical University of Hamburg, situated in North Germany.
So for me, one of the main factors was that it's a bit close to home. I don't have to travel across the 7 seas to get home to my family. Another point was also the course curriculum that I really liked. And I'm someone who doesn't like following the herd mentality a lot, which is why I was looking for some upcoming destinations for Indian students. And that's when I stumbled upon Germany.
Now that she's working in the country, she says she is happy with her decision to move there.
For me, it's work-life balance, which is very important. And when I was working in India in my company, because of my particular team, there was no work-life balance. And I thought, okay, maybe it's just the start. When you start off, you have to do a lot of work. You're expected to work a few extra hours. And then I saw my manager who's been working for 10 years, 12 years, and they are also working really hard overtime. And there's not a lot. There's hardly any work-life balance.
The other Indian immigrants to Germany reiterated this sentiment. Working in Germany offers them a much better overall balance. The Signal Daily also interviewed Praneet Singh, Associate Vice President at Upgrad, about the big boom in Indian students going to Germany.
The pivot here largely is that Germany is being preferred largely because it is a lot more stable as an economy. There are very little geopolitical tribulations, if at all. It's just much more easier to predict what will happen tomorrow. Germany is liberal with its post-study work visa, also called the job seeker visa.
Praneet added that Germany is also cheaper than the US and the UK.
Germany is a lot more affordable. One average year in Germany for studying is not more than 15 to 20 lakhs, which is the living cost in the United States for just a year. So I'm saying it's affordable. It's a lot more predictable, to say the least. And third is, it's just as a study destination, a lot more stable, a lot more foreseeable for students. And of course, notwithstanding the fact that whatever's happening in the world, we must keep in mind that Germany as an economy has been one of the top 5. It's at number 3. It's the 3rd largest exporter in the world, and it's the 3rd best education system in the world.
Praneet is right. the students the Signal Daily spoke to said that they liked how Germany's universities focused on teaching students practical skills. Internships are common, which help them pad up their resume and become industry ready. Given all these factors, many more students are now choosing to study in Germany. At a time when the US and the UK are looking inward, Germany is forging a stronger bond with India. Earlier this month, Germany's foreign minister said that Berlin wants to invite more Indian students and skilled workers. The country faces an acute labor shortage. 1.4 million positions in healthcare, IT education, construction, and transport remain unfilled. Here's a clip from his visit to New Delhi. In it, we'll hear from Germany's Johann Wadiful and India's S. Jaishankar.
We have just completed a very productive discussion on India-Germany cooperation, on our relationship with the European Union, and we have exchanged views on regional, global, and multilateral issues.
Both our countries that we can engage in this spirit of trust and friendship, and that we can look back on a 25-year period of strategic cooperation between both our countries, and that we've been able to expand it at the personal level. I share your analysis completely, 100%, that this partnership.
But though Germany wants skilled labor, that doesn't mean that all Indian students who study there will coast by and find a job. The biggest hurdle to finding employment for Indians is the inability to speak German fluently. More on that later. That's not all though.
Job market is currently not that good all over across the world. But of course, there are jobs, but you need to fight for it.
That was Sarang, another student turned worker the Signal Daily interviewed. Posts on Reddit corroborated what he said. People talked of struggling to find jobs. They said that the jobs they saw on LinkedIn turned out to be fake. They also talked of struggling to pay bills, which forced them to return to India. They also said that study abroad consultancies are, quote, lying through their teeth, unquote, about how open and happening Germany is for immigrants right now. Sarang told the Signal Daily that he noticed this lying as well when he was researching about studying in Germany.
Since the student abroad consultancy services are basically, they try to put you in a private university and they try to grind you some money from you. Almost all the student consultancy services are doing in India. And I have done all my things by myself. But before that, I was also trying to understand how the consultancies work. So I booked many demo meetings with them and all of them has the same pattern.
You see, there's two kinds of colleges in Germany, public and private. Public universities are a lot harder to get into, but attending them is cheap. The private ones, on the other hand, are much more expensive, but they're liberal with who they take in. Public universities rank higher, meaning employers respect them more as well. Sarang said that when a student attends these demo sessions by consultancies, study abroad consultants try to knock them down. They'll either tell you that your scores are too poor for you to gain admission into a German public university, or they say that yes, while you could get in, you should apply to private ones too, just in case. Sarang added that these consultancies earn a commission if they send students to schools that they partnered with. It's true. If you go to any of these websites of major study abroad companies like Advice, Campus India, and Upgrad, you'll see a list of partnered universities or recommended courses. And based on the digging the Signal Daily did, these are all private institutions. Praneek from Upgrad said that it's true that Upgrad partners with private universities. He's aware that public universities rank higher, but did not agree that employers preferred them too. He said that the private universities that Upgrad works with provide more practical and industry knowledge and skills to their students. He did not answer whether Upgrad earns a commission from sending students to these schools. Sarang and China both attended public universities. Sarang wants students to do research on their own and avoid getting carried away by big promises. Another must-know for people who want to move to Germany is that you absolutely have to learn the language, or at least some basics of it, before you go there. It's of course better if you're fluent. It will help you in your career too. If you're pursuing a management degree, for example, Your job will probably involve you engaging with people face to face.
I think the only one thing I would say if students are looking to come to Germany is learn the language. That is your key to so many opportunities, at least up to B1. Learn it and come, and life will be way easier than if you don't learn and come. That actually makes a difference, a huge one, especially when you're looking for jobs. Because for universities, you can find English-speaking courses. But if you know German already, you are also open to take German-speaking courses. So that, again, opens your doors to more courses that you can choose from, and then job hunt. And also, if you want to integrate with the society, if you know the language, it's much easier. Like in India, if you speak in Hindi or whichever state you are, if you speak the language, it's much easier, right? So it's the same here.
I'll probably say, please do your research very, very honestly. You should be very honest with yourself that your research is, you're doing good research, like which college you want to go, which course you want to study. Is the course aligned with your previous study or not? Because if it doesn't align with your previous course of study, that you are definitely not getting admission in a public university over there. If you have work experience, it also counts. And the last thing is, I think German skills, like if you have A2 level, A1 level, if you're learning, like for me, I'm also on A1 level. So basically, if people are learning and they go to A2 level, or the students which are currently studying, they go to A2, B1.
So, is Germany India's next favorite study abroad destination? Maybe, but like with all big moves, students need to separate trend from truth. At the end of the day, Germany is not a golden ticket. Yes, it offers relatively affordable degrees, work-life balance, and a chance at Europe's strongest economy. But those advantages come with conditions. You have to be fluent in German, you have to be patient with a competitive job market, and you have to have the discipline to research universities beyond what consultants pitch. For Indian students weighing their options, Germany is no doubt on the rise. Just don't confuse a booming trend with an easy path. That's all for today. You just heard the Signal Daily. We don't do hot takes. Instead, we bring you deep dives into the how and why of consumer trends. The Core produces the Signal Daily. Follow us wherever you get your favorite podcasts. To check out the rest of our work, go to www.thecore.in. If you have feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Write to us at feedback@thecore.in, or you can write to me personally at kudrat@thecore.in. Thank you for listening.